boys and girls. I hope you had a great week and you were able to practice some of those gymnastics rules with me from last week's lesson. You're able to get outside and get some exercise as well. This whole school year, we've talked about making healthy choices and how when we make those healthy choices, they help keep our body healthy. Exercise is a healthy choice we need to make every single day. Each day, you want to get at least 1 hour or 60 minutes of exercise. So find something you enjoy doing. Dancing, soccer, working out with a parent to a workout video, taking walks or going for bike rides, whatever gets your heart rate up and is using your muscles counts as exercise. And you want to do that for at least 1 hour every single day. We've also talked about how what we choose to eat, nutrition, helps keep our body healthy. So we're always looking to make sure on our lunch plate, on our dinner plate, what we eat for breakfast is coming from those 5 food groups. So the grains, protein, dairy, fruits, and vegetables, we want to see those on our plates. We want to eat those for snacks. With my 3rd and 4th graders, we started talking how essential water is for our body. 75% of your body is made up of water. From your brain all the way to the muscles in your toes and everything in between needs water to function. So my 3rd and 4th graders, you're aiming for about 7-8 glasses of water each day. Kindergarten 1st and 2nd graders, you want to aim for about 5-6 glasses of water each day. Water is going to help your body function properly. And in just a minute, we're going to look at some slides. We'll look at a couple of things talking about all the benefits water does give to your body. And then after we look at those slides, we're going to do a warm-up game with a water bottle. You're only going to need about 1/4 left in it. So while you're watching all the benefits of water, go ahead and drink some of it. So when you're ready to warm up, you'll have 1/4. So you'll drink about 3/4 of a water bottle. So if you want to hit pause, go find a water bottle, and I'll see you in a minute to talk about the benefits and then do our warm-up game. As you can see in this picture, water is the major component of most body parts. And when these body parts don't get enough water, they're not able to function at their optimal level. Water is amazing. It helps our bodies in so many ways. It helps our muscles move. It helps cushion our joints so we don't get injuries from sports or other exercises. It protects and cushions our organs, and it helps our cells fight infections. Water helps break down our food into essential nutrients and minerals. It transports vitamins and minerals around our bodies, and it gets rid of the waste and other toxins, things our body doesn't need. Water helps our lungs process oxygen to help us breathe. Drinking enough water helps regulate our body temperature so we don't get overheated. And water helps our brain function at its best. It helps us focus and remember information and prevents headaches. Water is truly amazing. All right, to make sure your body gets all of the benefits of water, my preschool, kindergarten, 1st and 2nd graders try to get 5 glasses of water, try to drink 5 glasses of water every day. My 3rd and 4th graders aim to drink 7 glasses of water every day to receive all those wonderful benefits. Drinking enough water every day is one of the simplest yet most effective choices you can make to keep your body healthy. Thanks, boys and girls, for taking the time to listen to all the benefits that water will provide your body. Water is essential, and it's going to help your body function to its best ability. Now, we're going to use a water bottle to perform part of our warm-up. This is called the water bottle flip challenge. You're going to try to flip your water bottle so it lands standing up. Every time you do that, you get a point. So you want to make sure before you can flip, though, you have to do 3 jumping jacks. So you want to make sure you have enough space to do jumping jacks. You want to make sure your water bottle is 1/4 of the way full, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I have 1 minute, so I'll start with 3 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, and then I get 2 flips. So that did not stand up. Neither did that. Then I do 3 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3. That would be 1 point. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 more flips. So I'm gonna start. I have my timer set, and then you'll see if you can beat my score. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No points yet. 1. Ooh, 1 point. 1, 2, 3. No more of this. 2, 3. 2 points. 3 points. 1, 2, 3. 4 points. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 5 points. 6 points. 1, 2. Time's up. All right, so I got the bottle to land on its bottom 6 different times. And you'll see if you can.
All right, Lions, my score was 6. You have 1 minute. See if you can get 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe you'll have 14. Maybe you'll have 0. Have fun, get your heart rate up, and here we go. 3 jumping jacks first, and then you get 2 chances to flip the water bottle. You're doing great. Keep it up. Halfway done. 30 seconds left. Don't give up now. You have about 15 seconds left. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Awesome. I hope you beat my record and you have 7. If you got 0, that's good too. What matters is you tried your best and you got your heart rate up. So I'm going to challenge you now to do it 2 more times. See if you can beat your own score, challenge your brother or sister or mom and dad, somebody in your house, and have a little friendly competition. That should really get your heart rate pumping. We'll move into some dynamic stretches, and then we'll be ready to start our gymnastic skills for the day.
All right, now that our heart rate is up and we're starting to loosen up our muscles, we're going to continue with some dynamic stretching. You can choose the dynamic stretches we always do after we warm up in the gym by running laps, or you can look at some of these pictures and pick a few of these. Spend the next 3 to 4 minutes stretching, and then we'll go over the safety rules and move into our gymnastic skills for the week. All right, now that our body is all warmed up, we are going to go over a few safety rules before we start our gymnastics. You want to make sure all of these skills we're about to perform are done on the floor. You do not want to be on an elevated surface, anything that's raised. So make sure you're on the ground. Also make sure that your space is soft and free of objects and people. So carpet or a rug or grass would be good for this. Make sure there's no furniture or other things that you could bump into or break. For the last 3 skills that we're doing today, the mule kick, the wheel, and cartwheel, make sure you have adult supervision and permission to do it. It's always nice to have somebody spotting you when you do some of these trickier skills. As we will start with some of the easier skills, and as we move down the list today, they will get more difficult. At any time, please stop practicing a skill if you feel pain or uncomfortable or a little unsure. And before beginning, make sure your body is warmed up and ready to exercise. And after our water bottle challenge and some dynamic stretches, I think we're ready to go. The first gymnastic skill we're going to practice today is called the table. Start by sitting on the floor. Separate your feet hip width apart. This means if you drew a line straight down from your hips, the line would run into your knees. Good. Now place your hands behind you with your fingers pointing toward your body, which will help your shoulders open. Make sure it is comfortable for you. If you need to adjust slightly, go ahead. Spread your fingers wide and press down through the pads of each finger, not your palms, so your wrists won't get hurt when you do it. Keep your toes facing forward. Now lift your chest and chin up while you're still sitting on the ground. You should feel your sternum, that's the bone in the middle of your chest, raise up, and you should be looking at the ceiling. Now raise your bottom off the floor. Your belly button is going toward the ceiling. Go to a level that is comfortable for you. Your hips are about in line with your knees, and it kind of feels like maybe you're going to crab walk. Keep pressing through the pads of your fingers and feet. Try to keep your neck in a neutral position so it isn't hanging behind you or straining to lift up. Find a spot that's comfy. Now stay and breathe in this skill for a few seconds. Remember, inhale and exhale, letting all the air out. To come out of this skill, lower your hips down to the floor and relax. Great job. Next, we're going to try the bridge. Start by laying on your back with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and the back of your head flat on the floor. You want your toes facing forward and your knees hip width apart. So once again, your knees and hips are in line with each other. Don't let your knees fall to the sides. Rest your arms down alongside of you with your palms facing down. Press your shoulders and upper arms into the ground. You'll feel your chest rise a little bit. Your knees should be over your ankles. See if your middle fingers can brush the heels of your feet. If they can, then you're in the correct position. If they can't, walk your feet closer toward the rest of your body. And if you can grab your ankles or sides of your feet, you need to walk your feet a little bit away from your body until just your middle fingers are brushing the back of your heels. Keep your head on the ground as you look up at the ceiling, and as you breathe in, lift your hips off the floor. Keep your shoulders down on the ground. You should have a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. As you are doing this, press your feet down into the ground and even back a little to help your hips raise. Stay here and inhale and exhale. Slowly lower your hips until you are resting back on the floor. This gymnastic skill is called a shoulder stand or birthday candle. First, you're going to lie down on your back and your hands and arms are on the ground next to you. Move your legs up and over toward the floor behind you. At the same time, move your hands to your back and elbows resting on the ground. Have your legs reach as high to the sky as possible and point your toes. Check, make sure your hips are high in the sky and not on the mat. Inhale and exhale. As you come out of this skill, you can start to lower your legs and roll right back up to a sitting position. This skill is called a mule or donkey kick. If you are trying this for the first time, simply getting both feet off the ground is perfect. It can progress or work its way up to becoming a handstand. And if you are at this point where you're progressing toward a handstand, you will need adult supervision when you practice this skill. To start in this skill, you want your hands shoulder width apart with your fingers facing forward on the floor with your feet underneath your hips. If your feet aren't under your hips and they're too far away, it'll cause your knees to fall to the ground. and you never want your knees to hit the ground in this skill. All right, quick check. Let's make sure your feet are under your hips and your arms are straight. You're going to rock your shoulders forward over your fingertips to support your body weight on both of your hands while bringing both of your feet off the ground at the same time. Your return to the ground should be under control and soft. Make sure you keep your arms straight while you're performing this skill to help you support your body weight. Only bring your legs off the floor as far as you are comfortable. Try it a few times. Make sure your landing is soft and under control, and you're keeping your arms straight. This skill is called the wheel. You'll start this skill laying down flat on the ground. Keep your knees bent and hip distance apart. Your heels are below your knees. A common mistake that students make are having their feet and knees too wide apart. So let's double check that your knees are hip distance apart and your heels are under your knees. All right, now you're going to move your hands up by your ears. You want your fingers to point towards your shoulders so your palms are flat on the ground. If you can't get your palms to lay flat, you may not be ready for this skill. As your flexibility increases, you can try this skill later. Make sure your hands are shoulder distance apart. Instead of trying to lift yourself up all at once, first lift to the top of your head. While you're here, line your elbows up with your wrists. If your elbows are too wide or narrow, it will make it really difficult to lift yourself up. Now press straight up like you're lifting something really heavy. Then press your hips up toward the ceiling and extend your arms. Take a few deep breaths. To come out of this skill, tuck your chin toward your chest, then lower your shoulders until you are comfortably laying back on the ground. Great job. The last gymnastics skill we're going to work on is the cartwheel. This is not easy, but it sure is fun once you get the hang of it. One of the biggest mistakes I see students make is they start in a sideways position when they do a cartwheel. You want to start facing forward in a lunge position. So which foot should you lunge with? Most students find if they are right-handed, it is most comfortable to start with their right leg forward, and if they are left-handed, they will start with their left leg forward. But this is not always true, so make sure to check which way feels more natural for you. Once you have figured out which leg is more natural in front, you will get in a lunge position where your back leg is straight and your front leg is slightly bent with your arms straight up by your ears. Your arms will remain like this throughout the entire skill. From the lunge position, practice moving to a T position where you lift your back leg off the ground and bringing it up to about waist level and bending at your waist, reaching your arms and hands out in front of you. This will be your first move when you're doing a cartwheel. Quick reminder to keep your arms by your ears the whole time and to keep your arms straight. If your arms aren't straight, you will collapse or fall. Okay, now we have the setup. Make sure you are facing forward. You are in a lunge position with your comfortable leg forward and bent and your back leg straight with your arms straight up by your ears. Lift your back foot off the ground, leaning forward at your waist and lowering your hands to the ground. You will have one hand and one foot on the ground. Now push off that front leg by straightening it, and both your legs will be off the ground and both hands will be on the ground. Try to keep your legs straight. If your hips are not right over the top in the middle of your cartwheel, it will make it really difficult. As you land on one foot, immediately take your hands off the floor and step back into a lunge with your other foot and with your arms straight up by your ears. If this is your first attempt at doing a cartwheel, do not worry about perfect form. Try to get the basic pattern down, and with practice, it will improve. When beginning, sometimes it helps students to use a pair of socks or spots on the ground for hand placement. If this skill still seems scary, try to make it easier by lowering yourself closer to the ground or by bending your knees and swinging your legs out to the side instead of over your head. On the other hand, if you're trying to perfect your form, a line on the floor will help you straighten your cartwheel by having you focus on keeping your legs and hips directly above your head.
Boys and girls, I am so proud of all of your hard work with these gymnastic skills. You guys have done different shapes, you've done different jumps, rolls, and all of these new skills we just practiced today. You should feel very proud of yourself. If you learn one or two new things, that's great. We'll review all of this next year together at Newfield. I would love to see pictures or videos of any of the skills you've tried, or if you want to shoot me an email or on Class Dojo, tell me how many flips you got with the water bottle challenge. I'd love to hear about it and hear how you are doing. My email is rphamilton, HAMILTON, @cps.edu. I'll see you guys next